Right, here we are, VW T4 Transporter, 1997 2.4 diesel. This is a 2.4 diesel turbo project. There's the engine bay. Big hole, ready for the engine to go back in. And here we have the 2.4 diesel. AGA engine code. Tell the AGA engine code as opposed to an AAB. The AGA has the ribbed serpentine belt, alternator pulley tensioner. The AAB has the old V-belt configuration with the power steering pump at the rear, I think, and power steering pumps at the front on the AGA. We'll run through the turbo conversion requirements and parts needed. As you can see, it's a lot easier with the engine out. Right, basically what we have is the 2.5 TDI ACV AGA inlet manifold. As you can see, it says ACV. If it's off an AGA, it still says ACV. That's a straightforward bolt on. As you can see, we've used the 2.4 AGA AB inlet flange off the inlet manifold. Straightforward bolt on. The hardest thing is getting the old inlet manifold off the AAB, which is a massive aluminium which comes about a foot off a block, so getting in and seeing if your Allen keys fit it correctly to unscrew it's difficult, but there is holes above so you can see if they're fitted. That's straightforward bolt on. Then we have the Volvo V70 TDI, which is the same as the Audi AEL, exhaust manifold, K14 Turbo, straightforward bolt on. As you can see, the V70 Turbo sits very low, whereas the ACV Turbo sits above both K14s, but the ACV is a 2060 Turbo. The ACV is a 2267, which has a 61mm inlet on the air side, whereas the ACV has a 51, I remember. Volvo has the 2.5 inch stainless steel exhaust downpipe too, which you can see here. Comes off stainless steel as standard. Had to shorten it 50mm so it'd fit in on the bulkhead. Went straight down to a complete 2.5 inch stainless steel system. The ACV Turbo sits higher and you can use your existing AEB AJA downpipe with the horrible clips that go on. Also, the exhaust comes off the opposite side to what it does on the Volvo. As you can see, here's the oil feed. With it being a Volvo, I had to use aftermarket fittings. So we've got an M12 to 4AN brass adapter with a 4AN line. Then on the back of the oil filter housing, we've got an M16 takeoff with M4. Be careful, check yours first. Some of them are an M12 takeoff, so you need to check that before you buy your oil feed lines. Also, I've got the oil temperature sensor and oil pressure sensor, which comes off a blank. There's another blank spare, but that's quite close to bulkhead. Also, you can see what I've got. I've got a sandwich plate which goes to the remote oil filter and remote oil cooler. Remote oil filter mounted where the airbox used to be, and the oil cooler which will be mounted behind the front grille or behind the bumper, depending where I finally fit my intercooler. As you can see, straightforward bolt-on conversion. No intercooler connected at the moment, which I will do, but for fitting the engine I fitted no intercooler, straight to the intake. Adapter for boost gauge. Oops. With the inlet on the V70 Turbo being on the opposite side, I've got rid of the old airbox and I've got a cone filter, as you can see here, which fits in the battery compartment. As we come down front of engine, as you can see, fitted a brand new cylinder head and the rakes PP3 uprated injectors. Standard injector pressure on an AAB is 135 bar. These have been uprated to 158 bar, plus better nozzles for better spray pattern, better atomisation. As you can see, the injection pump isn't fitted yet. Not going to fit that till after the engine's gone in. Don't want any accidents and the engine sliding and falling and onto the injection pump and breaking it. But the new injection pump is complete with a Toyota Land Cruiser 4.2 V8 diesel LDA to give additional fueling under boost. So hopefully we'll be able to run about 1.5 bar. We'll only run 1 bar as standard, probably daily use, but always got it in case I need it. As you can see, gearbox fitted, and in there I've converted to a solid flywheel conversion as opposed to the dual mass to take the power, as the other one failed due to the increase in power for dual mass. And basically that's it. As you can see, got my little trolley to work on the engine so I can move the engine about. The engine's sat as it sits in the engine bay, so now I'm going to get it all fitted. I'll post a video when it's all fitted later. Over and out.